Give me 1 second to give them something set up. How's it going, guys? Morning. We're just letting some stuff get started up. Go through our morning routine. Morning. Can't see the screen. Should be able to. Properly? What do you mean? I mean, yeah, I tried to cut off the tops and bottoms and stuff, so it's less distracting. Sort of a blur. Should be alright. It's blurry. How to fix that? Is it still blurry for you guys? Let me try to adjust some settings real quick. Yeah. I'm gonna fix some settings and see if it helps. Oh, it is okay for now? So should I change the settings or not? Change it. Hopefully help out. Yeah. I changed my bitrate, so we'll see if that helps it. Cool. So obviously, we'll pull up Forex Factory here. We had PPI, that was this move, this drop right here. We also have some other stuff, such as FOMC at 2. So that is to keep an eye out for. What do I expect after 9:30 opening? I don't know yet. I just woke up. So I will figure that out. Right now it looks like this is going to drop back down a little. Possibly come back into the range. I don't know. We have FOMC today. But we'll go ahead and start out on the daily. Morning. So daily, we're just stuck inside, right? FOMC might do something about it, but we're just going to mark out previous day high. Stay low. Right. And we're gonna straighten those out one. I don't see the letters today. Always have random drawings in here. But nothing really too interesting right now, right? No displacement up, no real displacement down, just consolidating for the most part on the higher time frames. So the swing high is an area of interest if we reach up into it. Probably easier to see on a 1 hour, right? Equal lows, and then we have this high, that high, right? And this high is right above. There's a 1 hour order block right there. And then obviously this liquidity void above. What is the meaning of T trades? Don't know. Yes. We're gonna mark this out. Just the high, right? Other than this, just based off of this. So I see little equal highs here, equal lows there. So I'm really not interested in much until we take one of these sides. Go down to the 15-minute, you can see. Obviously with the displacement, it looks like we're more aggressive to the downside. So ideally, we'd run previous day low and then go back up. But we'll see. 5-minute. Pull that back up. Go to a 1. Giant set somehow. Try to figure out how to sync drones. I don't know if anyone knows how to sync drawings, let me know. I'll sync those over. You use volume occasionally on the lower time frames, yeah. Like the 1 minute, 15-second. Trying to figure out how to sync these drawings across. Guess I won't worry about it. It's just annoying because these are all on. These two are together, those two aren't. Sync is on the toolbar on the left side. Looks like a paperclip. Oh. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I clicked it, it still didn't do anything. Oh well. Guess we'll just be, it's really annoying. Click the icon to add additional charts to the screen. It's at the bottom of it. Symbol? I don't know. How many shekels should I risk per trade? That's funny. It doesn't work on patch drawings. Ah, that's annoying. All right, we're gonna go. I wonder if I do this. Oh, that's lame. It just applies the indicators. Oh wait, lines. That's all right. I don't really care too much as long as I have it on my like higher time frame one. I'm just gonna delete these drawings. It's on 3 of them now, so maybe I did something. Oh well. What is meaning of the T in T trades? That's the first letter of my name. I'm learning so much. Jeez, I don't even know. Select all and I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. We'll just we'll see what's happening. Really not a lot, right? Obviously drifting down, but with this aggressive price action compared to the lack of displacement down, should probably get another leg up. But anyone have any good Spotify playlists to listen to? I'm listening to one, but it's not super sick. lo-fi girl, but possibly. And now I'm listening to like some acoustic music. Can you do Bitcoin as well? I don't personally watch Bitcoin, but I can pull up Bitcoin for you if you want. Um, Give me 1 second. That one here. Here's Bitcoin. Right, so obviously reacted more to the upside. Swept all these highs right here, but still not super sick. Right now we're just inside of a range. I was actually looking at it last night, but I don't know. I just don't watch crypto really. Are you seeing any SMTs? Let's go ahead and look. People sync returns, probably not. I mean, yeah, there's a slight one at the bottom here, right? Right there, right there. And I don't know about at the top. Let's see. There was a slight, but it's internal, right? This high. This is internal range though. I prefer it to be external range. So we can take a look at it throughout the day. ES is a little bit weaker though. Oh, we can lay out already done. Maybe it's because it's alright guys, thanks so. But it looks like we're gonna continue. Can you check US 30? Yeah, I can pull up US 30 here. We'll actually just do this. Yeah. So this is on the 15 though. Let's be on the 1. So yeah, Dow's heading down more. Right now, NQ is lagging in terms of downside aggression. She'll probably even itself out, but you can see Dow is obviously the most aggressive to the downside, usually leads a little. Actually has a fair value gap there. Well, neither do. Um, so I do care about midnight opening price, but on news days it's a lot harder. But I'll mark it out. I just know that midnight opening price is down here, right there. I'll mark it out. Usually I just use it as like a discount and premium type deal. Is it possible to trade options with ICT? Yeah. What's your general approach to moves like this when there's a huge mother bar up or down? Usually I'll scalp or just not trade it. Pretty patient. Um, Gold for the moment? Sure. I'm gonna have to do this on my other screen real quick. I mean, gold should be going up, right? Makes sense. This is your little inducement model, right? Aggressive move higher. There's your fair value gap, right? Gets mitigated by these lows. Uh, Runs these lows. Gets an aggressive move back into the range. Easier to see on like something like a 15-second. Aggressive move back into the range. Once again, internal range liquidity ran. Aggressive move higher, continuing higher, right? So where should we be targeting on this? Right? Well, most likely this high, right? That is what I would say. But the displacement that happened right in the... If you have a blurry screen, go to settings and adjust it to HD. Should be good. Euro USD. But yeah, I would say gold is most likely going to continue higher. It's this high. Essentially. Yeah, if you... Here. This is my trading model. I'm trying to find brown liquidity on daily. An example, PD rate. I mean, so everyone's different with their trading models, right? I prefer to use lower time frames as my daily chart. That's just what I like to do. But if you want to trade higher time frames, like that's a solid plan. I don't know about trading Forex. I'm pretty sure I can trade Euro USD with it. I haven't really tried, but I'm pretty certain. I know we can trade like gold, oil, and stuff. Any thoughts on? Because this is just on funded accounts, so I'm not certain, but I do know on private accounts that you can for the most part. What are the settings of the background color? If you go to my community tab, it's on there if you scroll down a little ways. S&P monthly. Yeah, so we hit the monthly order block and rejected. Let's go to the monthly, show it here. Hide my drawings. So we look at here, what he's talking about in chat is this is our monthly order block, right? And if you look, retch up into it and then rejected, right? So that's what's giving my overall bearish bias. I just don't really focus on higher time frame bias, to be honest. I just focus on lower time frame structure. That makes sense. I don't have a video yet on external or internal liquidity. S&P spot, I am telling. I don't know what you mean by that. But I'd expect this to head for previous day's low, depending on news and stuff. How do you get current Priceline to change color based on the candle? I don't know. It just does it possibly in settings. Status line. Values, background. I don't know. Maybe it's just the background of your... Yeah, I have no idea what that is doing. I don't know. If you take trade only in displacement, happen in fair value gap. Yeah, I understand you need displacement for fair value gaps. I'm a little confused on what you're trying to prove. In Forex, do you use higher time frame point of bias to look? I mean, that's what I do in every asset class, but I only trade indices, so. I wouldn't. I don't trade Forex. I'll sometimes look at Euro USD, but essentially I'll explain why I'm leaning down, right? Is I don't really care if we hit previous day low. That's obviously a target for sometime this week, just because of these equal lows, and I'm pretty sure, right, relatively equal in compared to here, right? So want those ran eventually, but really like this is how I determined my bearish bias yesterday. is we made this intermediate term high here, right, at 8:30. So once we created that, started to get an aggressive move down, I knew it was likely to be targeting this area here, or 84s, right? Then we ran 84s, get aggressive move higher. Where do we aim for? These highs up here. So if we are expecting this to be our longer term high, these would be our intermediate term highs, and I'd want this to run the lows. That's kind of my mindset there. It's not as clean as yesterday, obviously, but that's what's giving me bearish bias currently on the lower time frames. Do I wait for 9:30 to engage? Yeah, for the most part. I personally think daily 15 and lower are the best as far as, yeah, I mean, everyone's all different, right? Everyone uses different things depending on what they like. But gold, same as ES now, aka terminal liquidity. Not quite, but still won't move higher in gold, right? And mostly because of this aggressive down and up move, right? So similar to the indices, just kind of inverted. We focus on small prime times. So the thing is, I don't really focus on small time frames all the time, right? So I have 15-minute point of interest. So for example, yesterday, when I have this idea that we make our intermediate term high and are heading for this low, then I'll look for lower time frame setups within there. So for example, if we go to replay, there's like 4 1-minute setups right here, right? I didn't catch the top ones, but right, there's your fair value gap entry, fair value gap entry, fair value gap entry, right? And then you have another small fair value gap right here, which if we play it out, came back up, touched it, dropped, right? And then it just continued. So that's like, I don't just focus on lower time frames. I have to have some higher time frame point of interest, right? But once you realize we're on a sell side of a curve, right, we're heading for the lows, right? Because if we go to like a 5-minute, it's a little easier to see. This is your market maker model. Initial consolidation, reaccumulation, smart money reversal, whatever, should finish under these lows, right? So, or not those lows, my bad. I had to drawn out long. That was lows. But then you go into a buy model, so then you look for buys. But delete these because I don't need them. Dumb question. It's not a dumb question. So horizontal lines, if you draw, right? If you hold shift, it'll keep it straight, or 45 or 90. So you just have to hold shift. Similar thing, if you're drawing this, you want it to lock on. If you hold control down, it'll give you the magnet, right? So I don't have the magnet turned on, but when I use control, it'll turn it on. So not a dumb question. And no, it's it's definitely not skill with the mouse, but that's funny. Random trading view tip, go into settings, under scale tab, click no overlapping. Oh, all right, I'll try that. Settings under scale tab. I have no overlapping on. Caught 2 trades on EU, that's good stuff. Yeah, no problem. Glad to help out, Dustin. So, I'm not really interested in a lot of this, but, right, if we're heading down, what kind of trades can you take? Mitigation blocks, it's obviously better on US 30 a little bit right now. But you can see aggressive move down, then you'd want this order block to hold, right? Because we're on a sell side of a curve. And ideally you'd want this order block to hold, even though it's a very big one, right? Which it does. And then you'd want this order block to hold. right? So that's kind of once you get your direction, you just look for discount or premium arrays. If you take trade fair value gap, only displacement happened without it. I'm really confused way of trading guy. My question is, if you take trade fair value gap, only displacement. I mean, to have a fair value gap, you have to have displacement, right? So even if you look at this little order block here, we also have that displacement, which I don't think is as aggressive. Oh, I guess so. And if you remember me mentioning how Dow was leading the way, and then NQ was the strongest. See how NQ hasn't taken these lows yet? Well, yes, they have. So that's why you just find the weaker of them and you just take it. I mean, this one will probably catch up, but um, so best way to deepen your understanding of narrative. For me, it's personally. I'm gonna go back up to the larger time frames here. Oh, so for me, it's personally, I just look for displacement equal highs and equal lows, right? So we have an aggressive move down, even though it's because of news. But look, aggressive move down here, aggressive move down, aggressive move down. None of these moves up really displace, right? We have a little fair value gap right there, right? See that? Just a tiny little fair value gap. So why would I want to be trading long right now when all the displacement's pointing down, right? All right, another bot in my comments. That's so annoying. When do you use the wicks as entries on order blocks? I usually use the wicks in the opening price. So, like if we go back to our 1 minute here, see this order block right here turned into a breaker. If this would have reached up, that would have been a more preferred entry short, right? But ideally I use the wick or opening price. Normally opening price, but it just depends how things line up and personal style, right? So get this back to the 1 hour. So that's what I mean, just trading in the way of displacement. Hello. Yeah, I know, dude. These bots be wild. And do you trade pullbacks? I mean, that's essentially all I trade, right? So when you think about ICT, it's basically just like fib trading almost, right? Some of you might hate me for that, but like, look, if you just look at this range down, right? When do we get our best entry? Right here, fib entry, right? So even if you don't know anything, if you just look for displacement down, oh, displacement down, here's a pullback I want to be looking for, right? I don't really do it because I just eyeball it now because I know like, oh, 50% line is going to be right in here. Here is going to be like my entry I want, right? Um, you don't focus on market structure shift after displacement. I do. However, a lot of times, if you get aggressive move up and aggressive move down, you don't really need to. It's just personal like preference what you want to do, right? If you have the bias you want to be short in this area, you can take. It's called low risk sells, right? But it's definitely higher risk. So the confirmation entries, but you can definitely do that. Which time do you do your setup on? I normally look at like the 15-minute. I'd say 15 minutes my most used time frame in terms of like direction and setups, as well as the hour. The hour can give you some good bias or like where's price heading, but I like 15-minute just because it gives me the structure a little more, and I can see those intermediate term highs, short term highs, stuff like that. Um, so like, no, that's not a good example, but um, So yeah, if you check out my channel, J-Era, I have a lot of tutorials on this concept, and it's not my concept, it's ICT's concepts, right? I just kind of help simplify them down for people. Uh, how do you do your top-down analysis? I just start at the daily, go 4 hour, 1 hour, 15, 5. I don't make it too complicated. If you guys have seen my videos, I try not to make things complicated. Yeah, I use the daily and 4 hour. Daily and 4 hour is more larger time frame though, and since I don't trade such large time frames for the most part, I would rather use the 15-minute. Would you say price just made a break of structure? Yeah, I mean, here we'll go to a 5-minute, right? The news did that, right? So if you look, I'm going to draw out the structure for you guys so you can see, right? We'll pull this out to the side. So if we just look at the structure, what do we have? Runs highs, right? What are resting above those highs? Stops, right? Runs those stops. Now what does it do when it drops down here? Breaks this structure here, but also this structure here. Should probably draw out the other side of this little, right? Oops. Right? So that's our break of structure. And it's so aggressive down that we just get this little retracement up, testing previous lows to go lower, right? And now, another break of structure, right? We would want to get a retracement just into this area, preferably above this high, to continue lower if we're going to stick with this narrative, right? But the only way we return to a bullish narrative is if we, let me get rid of these. I didn't want to get rid of that midnight. So the only way we return to a bullish narrative is if we break this high, right? This is on a 5-minute time frame, so it's a little bit better, but we should continue lower unless we break this high, because that's where our breakage structure would be. However, if we get an aggressive move down and an aggressive move back up, that makes some BPR, right? That is considered something I would be interested in looking for, right? Just because that's your low risk buy. But I prefer it to have, running, well, the lows aren't drawn out in this chart, but I prefer it to run previous day's low. But actually looking at this now, like 15, I think I see 5-minute. It might have already gotten filled. Yeah, wasn't as aggressive as I thought. All right, never mind. But I don't know. The thing is, ICT provides all these concepts, right? But it's up to you to determine how you want to use them and what works the best for you. Is there BPR on the 15-minute now? Let me pull this up. Where? Not really seeing them. Maybe on 5. Still nothing great. I prefer to see BPR after running an area of interest. But I don't trade currencies, but yeah, I would use the 15-minute. Maximum pips for stop loss. Well, so my stop loss is based off of where I'm invalidated, and so I'll adjust my position size. Normally when I'm trading, here, we'll just open up a screen. I have this in my position size video, but if I'm taking a 2-point stop, right, I'll take 10 contracts. 3-point stop, take 7 contracts. 4.5 contracts. 5-point stop, 4 contracts. The max I go is 7 normally, and that I'll take 3 contracts, right? So make a video of ICT builder bridge concept. All right, I'll look into it. I haven't watched that video yet, so. So when you see a market structure break on the 1-minute, here, I'm going to explain it right now for you. Hopefully this helps you out. So you see this aggressive move higher right here, right? And you're like, oh, we're breaking structure up. You got to sometimes go to like at least a 5-minute, 15-minute, right? And you see how we just barely close above these highs, and then we get our aggressive move down, and our overall structure is bearish, right? We're putting in a lower high. You just have to zoom out sometimes. So, and market structure shift, breakout structure, all that stuff, it's all basically the same. It's just depending on how you use it. But yeah, I'll watch the build or bridge builder concept. Hopefully that helps, SK. ICT means what? Inner circle trading. Yeah. Is 15-minute breakaway gap because it has BPR. Are you talking about this? I mean, that could be a point of interest, but I like to keep my chart clean. No, we're probably gonna be chill for the most part today because there is FOMC too, right? What are you expecting for an entry? Guys, this is not for like I'm not giving you guys signals. This is just me doing stuff. How to add odd if winning? I don't know what you mean by that, dude. I mean, yeah, this is what I was just talking about. This could potentially be a short. Fair value gap, right? Order block, midnight open. But I just don't trade really pre-market. Um, you took the. That's cool. Awesome to hear that. I'm not really watching anything for possible entry right now. I want to see external liquidity taken or this internal liquidity taken. Yeah, I mean that's what I'd prefer, right? I'd prefer the 5-minute here to put in a lower high right here and then drop, make a new low, right? That would be ideal. Will it happen? Who knows? Do you think ICT 2022 is enough to start being consistent? I would say so. That's all I've watched. I haven't watched any of his other content yet. I don't want to get overwhelmed. But I would start with core content. I'd kind of disagree on that, just from people's experience that I've talked to. But external liquidity is if you just look at this range, right? The high up here, previous day high, previous day low. All the highs and lows in here are internal to this. That's all it means. You speak from first-hand experience. All right, that's fair. I'm just saying I've had multiple people who get super overwhelmed with the 2016 content. So I think its core content isn't as valuable as care. So the thing about 2022, right, is it gives you enough to can be able to understand the market and risk management, all that. I haven't watched the 2016 mentorship, so I have no idea. But from other people I've talked about, it's like you can learn a lot, but it can also be overwhelming, and that is what I know. But hit and edge ratio. My win rate right now is like 65%. Yeah, exactly, Kevin. You only trade with one setup? No, I I trade multiple. If you watch my most recent video, Henry, it kind of goes over my main entry models. No, no, I see. I don't argue. I just that's like all constructive. So thanks for your discussion, Charles. I appreciate it. Yeah, so it can definitely be overwhelming, but how do you think about him backing down? So personally, I don't follow any of the drama stuff, so I don't know. Drama is just a waste of time for me. Yeah, of course, SK. Love your content. I'm trying to find your Excel sheet you posted a while back. That is in my funded how I trade video. It's in the description of that. Yeah, I post a lot of monkey gifs on Twitter, if you guys don't know. How do you avoid mixed signals? I don't overanalyze and I just stick to what I know. Do I trade Bitcoin? No. Right. And so it looks like gold gave us that retracement, but if you look, this is aggressive down, aggressive up. So this will give you your BPR, right? Right. And I like it because we're in this, hard to explain, but ran this internal liquidity into this fair value gap. Also ran this, right? Aggressive move higher should reach up into here, retrace down like that. That is what I'd expect from gold, but patience is my biggest problem. I don't know, dude. It's a hard one. I have gained a lot of patience because I've learned from not being patient and how it affects me. So, how long have you been trading before learning ICT? Just about a year, and then I've been trading like a year and 7 months with ICT for invalidation, which I should consider the wick or body of the candle. It kind of depends. I like using the wick for the most part, but usually if you have a strong intermediate term high, the body shouldn't get tested either, right? Like this strong intermediate term high, body shouldn't get tested, right? So we'll see what happens here. We got 5 minutes to open. Thinking about joining your paid group. What are the advantages of joining the group? So the advantages are basically like these type of drawings I do. I just post them into the chat, and then I stream 3 times a week. So I do like this type of stream, but it's during lunch session, and I just answer questions 3 times a week. And then I actually live trade on Fridays. All right, not another one of these Tinder bots, man. I'm so annoyed with these things. The bot is back. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, you get to talk to me. I mean, I do one-on-one sessions sometimes, but that's not with my group that I work in. Um, but like I do a stream where it's basically you can ask any questions and we watch price action. It's during lunch, so the price isn't as great, but since ICT content is a lot of content, which model is the fair value gap model? That is what I think is the easiest. And here, let me draw it out. Right? Basically, just look for fair value gaps after liquidity or in a higher time frame point of interest. I personally use this, and what I did is I didn't like looking at my point of interest on the 15-minute and waiting, doing all that, right? I'm a little impatient sometimes. So I instead took this model and then just searched for it down here, right? That's how I kind of changed it up to fit my personal needs. But oh well, there's a lot. The crypto bots might be worse, but it's close. The only trade says I only trade like New York session. So I did trade Asia, but I usually kind of struggle in Asia because I get patient. No, so I'm asleep during London and Asia normally, so I don't trade those. How can I use this bot? That's funny. What time frame is best for look for levels? I like the 15-minute. Give me 1 second. So if we look, we're waiting for 9:30 open, right? But this area, I don't like these highs though that they put in. So I prefer something like that if we're going to continue. All right, let me read some questions. Yo, trader, I'll find your question, but if you watch my video on breakout structure, market structure shifts, stuff like that will help. Yeah, that's the whole point of my channel is I was trying to build content to kind of use supplementally, like use with ICT's content to help. Yeah, no, I want bullish prices today, but I want to run some lows first. With Wasim, use uh I use the model on a lower time frame. Hey man, when liquidity is old lows. Liquidity is just obvious highs, right? Obvious highs and lows. If you were short in this area, didn't want to get stopped out, where would you put your stop? I'm betting 99% of people are going to put it right there, right? So that's where the liquidity is resting, because that's where the stops are. If you were long right in here, where are you going to put your stop? I bet 99% of people are going to put it right there. So that's where the liquidity is resting, right? If you just got short right in here, where are you going to probably put your stop? Right on this high, right? Unless you want to put it up there. So that's why that's where the short-term liquidity is sitting, you know? Like, don't make it too complicated. Like, oh, that's an obvious low. There you go. I usually just enter, mark, on your trading view settings. How do you have preset? So if you want, so here, now we're going to get our drop. And if you look, what happened? We had the move right above that high before the drop, like we wanted, right? That's because I hated those old highs. So now we get displacement down. Should be heading for this low and hopefully previous day low. But we don't have to, right? But that's like essentially, I would have considered to take that trade if I wasn't talking, right? Right there, risk right there, targeting new lows. So there we go. That worked out. Liquidity grab and break a structure. Break a structure has displacement, right? This is a liquidity grab, right? Reaches above these highs, grabs the liquidity. This is a break a structure, aggressive move down breaking structure, right? All right. But hopefully that kind of helped you see how I like would trade the open if I wasn't talking in focus, but I'm not gonna rush into anything today. So, but now we ran this low, right? So if we are gonna get a retracement, I would want it to be right there. Let's see. Yeah, right. But prefer not to, honestly, just because off open, if we're gonna reach down here, you want it to be pretty aggressive. Yeah, the key is displacement. That's why the fair value gap model, 2022 mentorship model, is working, right? Because displacement's the key to everything. See how on this move up, we have no displacement? What does that tell you? Looking short. That's why I was wanting to have short this whole time, right? And you can see, as you continue to learn stuff, you'll see Like I saw these highs and I was like, oh, I don't like those. I want it ran before going short, right? So then that gives you your prime entry, which I should have taken, but I don't really care. Say you would have traded the retracement? I would have traded this. I wouldn't trade any of this. Yeah, I wouldn't trade this stuff down here. You know why? Is this, ready? If we're in a short position right here, I would probably put my stop at this high, right? Because we have this little order block supporting it. And then I'm obviously targeting these lows down here, right? Or you can just do something like 3R, right? It would have already taken you out. But say we keep our 3R there, and now we enter down into here, right? Look at your risk to reward ratio where you're invalidated. Suppose you can move it down here, but that's just not something I'm interested in, right? 840. You got to look at the higher time frames. Not everything is going to be that, right? If that's a 1 minute, go out to a 5 minute. Where's the displacement? There is none, right? We're just going lower, right? Where would the stop be for that short? I just showed you, right on that high for me, right? Now I want us to go for previous day lows, as I said before open as well. Me and my homies love catching all the knives. That's funny. Gold should be. Oh, looks like gold didn't do what I wanted. That's alright. I don't trade gold, so. Can you stop with the mass amounts of emojis? Hard to read. I posted in my last video, if you go to the description, there's a video on order blocks that is made by Alex, and it's really good. So check that out. Do you use I don't know what my FX book is. So if we get a retracement here, wouldn't want it too high or too aggressive, just right here or right up into here. Right? What ticker do you use? ES1. Yeah, this is just for charting though. You can actually execute on ES1. You have to use ESZ2 or MESZ 2022, right? So if we're just watching it, right? Previous lows. So did it really delete all my drawings? Are you kidding? That's a joke. Alright. Well, now we're reaching back up into that midnight open, right? So now we do have a BPR right in this area, right? Can switch time frames. It's easier to see, right? I just normally add over it. So on like a 1 minute, if this is our displacement range breaking structure, I don't really like it because we didn't take this low, but how would you trade it? Just do that, essentially, right? And you wouldn't want to enter anything above the 0.5. So you could enter anything kind of down into here, right? But we'll see what happens. We need to displace over these highs or else I'm not too interested on this one. If this would have occurred down here, I would be all over it. But the fact that we didn't run the lows I wanted to. Have I found my edge? Yeah. Yeah, I have. Is that a good short entry? That's up to you, man. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but ideally, I will. This my idea is we'd run this high and get a retracement back down. I can trade it if you guys want, but don't want to run into the Monday fiasco. So that's why I'm probably not going to show executions unless it's just on the side screen. Of all that stuff that happened on Monday. Just watch. Glad to hear that, Ricardo. Oh, ideally, get a retracement sometime soon, but looks like it wants to retire. Don't call it when you enter, just say, well, the thing is, if I enter, it's just going to show up on the screen. Trail stop, I use fixed stop loss. That's just what I do. Equity growth? I mean, I can show you one for last week. Find. This is last week's. Of course, it's not going to load. But you can kind of see it in the bottom left screen if you want to look at it, or bottom of the screen. Most drawdown I took on the week was $110. Gold can fly. There it's starting to go. So here we should get our little retracement from ES. Liquidity for tomorrow on CPI. Well, we have FOMC today too. That's why I'm like not even really worried about trading today. Just because there's so much going on. But ideally we get this move down here, right? Get a little higher. Get a move back down there. Thanks, Tom. My name isn't Tom, but that's all good. I don't know why. I've had multiple people call me Tom. I don't know where that came from, but yeah, of course. Always glad to help. The whole goal of my channel is just to help people because that makes me feel good. Are you Tim then? No, I'm not Tim. People trying to guess my name. Tom. I'm not Tim or Tom or Tristan or Trevor. Oh, Tyrone. I like that one. That's fun. How to fix your lower back pain? Work out, stretch. I want to check something real quick that I might have missed. No. All right. I guess I didn't miss anything. All right. I will say, out of all of these names, there's one that is right, but Karen with a T, Taryn. That's funny. So here's our retracement coming. Oh my gosh. Uh, all is all of this the 2022 mentorship is free on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Well, instrument I'm trading, this is the S&P futures. So ES or MES. Tommy boy. It's tibia. I am named after a bone. Tyler, I bet 500 USDT. I'll take the bet. You went short 1 point. Nice, Aaron. Aaron's always killing it out here. Monday we got asked for a face reveal, which is not coming anytime soon, but pros and cons of trading opening hours for each day. So there's a lot more volatility, which is what I like. I prefer volatility, right? That's where I excel in. Other people don't like volatility, so they sit out the morning open and stuff, right? I don't know. I'm conflicted right now on what I want. Because ideally, just based off the structure, we'd run down here and then go higher, right? But I don't know. Previous day low just sitting there. Futures broker. I use Ninja Trader and Trade but they're through funded. What's your ideal percentage month over month? No, well, it kind of depends how aggressively I'm trading. Is Discord free? There's a free section and a premium section. I hang out in the futures chat in there, which is a premium section. Ideal percentage growth that you shoot for month to month. I don't really. Jacob? Oh, I have a friend named Jacob, and I don't really focus on that too much. I just focus on trading well. So now I still want this low to be ran. Basically that. I'm not Tyler, no. You can connect TradeAway to TradingView. Yes. I have no idea. I have no idea how all the news affects it. I just look at the chart, and if it looks Thomas, draw more downtrend lines so it retraces. Say less. All right. I don't know if 4-3 is going to be enough, but we'll see. It's 20 a month to connect TradingView to trade. I'm not honestly sure. Everyone asking about the Discord I'm in. I'll just post a link and you guys can check that out. I'm not gonna mention it too much. I'm just trying to enjoy my time. Well, there we go. Whoever I helped out, I drew more downtrend lines and it started to go down. There's my little Discord link if you want to look at it. But which funding platform? I use ETF. I'm funded with Apex and ETF, so I trade Ninja Trader and on Trade Why don't you trade on a black background? I This obviously is not working, but um, I I don't know. I find I just see stuff better on a lighter background. At 3 drives patterns. Let me see if I can find one for you. All right. Sorry, I was responding to a message. 3 drives pattern is basically, well, kind of this, right? 1 bottom, 2 bottom, your 3rd bottom. Now we go higher, right? It can be good in conjunction. So remember what I was just talking about liquidity earlier, right? We're gonna open this full screen. So where we're obvious high or stop sitting, right? Remember how I was saying above this high? So when we run this high, this is if I'm scalping, I'll go something like a 5-second. And if I want to get a low risk entry, I just enter something like that, right? Because then my risk to reward is pretty solid. I'll just use the bodies on these because it's high risk. And then normally I target OTE of this side, right? So 0.62. So just something like that for a quick scalp, right? And that's because if we're going to continue a bullish trend, right, higher on this 5-second time frame, obviously if we got to like a 1 minute, we could retrace a little more. But your safe exit is this 0.62 because if we are going to put in a lower or a higher low, we just do it right in there, right? So that's kind of how I scalp, and that's changed the time frames around, but this is how I trade, right? Point of interest, ran stops. There's your fair value gap setup, right? And there's probably a volume spike right at this high, right? So you see that little volume spike. But that's just an example to kind of give you. Like I said, I'm just kind of chilling today. So we'll see if we head down. Might watch the 15-second. Not super aggressive. All right, let's see. What makes you sleepy? Oh, that's fair. Meaning to trades. It's my first name. I see you do lunchtime trades. No, so I do a Q&A session, basically. Sometimes if trades are presented, we'll take them, but for the most part, it's just like, it's education, right? Because I don't... Titty trades. Yeah, that's... I get called that. That's actually... I'll accept that one. Um, Tomato trades. Second charts are overpowered. I agree. What do you do if there's both a bearish and bullish fair value gap in the same setup? You look for liquidity to be ran, right? Because look right here, even on this 15-second, we run this high, this aggressive move down, technically kind of BPR if we look on 30-second, right? See that? So there's your BPR on the 30-second, right? After running some sort of high. But the thing is, if you just go out to a 1 minute, we're still trending up, right? So it's like you can go down and get lots of trades. I'll do that sometimes, like the 5-second, right? If we're just chilling on the 5-second, what I'll do a lot of times is just these little like turtle soup entries is when we run a low like this, I'll just scalp it right back into the range. But it has to be kind of the right price action. Yeah, I mean, so the reason on my OTE I don't have this 70 is just because I know the 70 is going to be right in there, right? I don't need the 70 to tell me that, and I more use it as a frame of reference for the price action. I don't trade gold, but you can see it's doing what we wanted to. We want it to go take that high. IPDA data range. I don't really know what that is, to be honest. What is BPR? If you check out my most recent video, how do you know if a turtle soup will move in your direction? You don't really. It's kind of up to higher time frames, but like this turtle soup entry would have worked, right? Entering there. And this one like might not work, right? But you can see you could, put your stop break even now if you wanted to, right? So it's just like, it's all up to like where you think price is going. But if you focus too small at time frames, you're going to get lost, right? That's why I will only look at like a 5-second, stuff like that, if I have a point of interest, right? And it's the same. I don't look at a 1-minute entry unless I have a higher time frame point of interest. It's the same concepts over and over, right? And so you can see, right? And the reason for that turtle soup entry, if I would have taken it, right, is I think we're going to go run this high, personally. And the reason for that being is, look at this range right here, from low to high, right? We have this internal liquidity here. We run it. I would want to see a move higher to go into this kind of fair value gap or liquidity void before going lower or higher. Doesn't really matter, right? Or we could just do that. And that's your 5-second liquidity, right? There's a lot you can do, but and now that's aggressive, right? Should see a touch there. Blow right through it and give us BPR. So you can kind of get lost on the lower time frames, right? If you're just sitting on this, you're going to have an aneurysm. So, but it's kind of choppy, right? I mean, yeah, it's just personal risk tolerance trading CEO. It says move up on ES at 45, just a liquidity grab. And 45. I would say yes and no, right? This is really aggressive, right? Off the lows. So I'm not going to try to fight the structure right here on the shorter time frame. So I do think this would be a little bullish, even though I want this low. So that's why I'm conflicted. But that's why I would want to run below this low, run liquidity to then go higher, right? And if you look strat-wise, grounding formation, right? So I just kind of do it in my head because I like clean charts. What is considered your heart rate time frame? It depends what I'm entering on. If I'm entering on like a 15-second or 1 minute, I like to use 15-minute. If I'm entering on like a 5-second, I'll use the 5-minute, something like that. Change a character, it's the same, it's all the same stuff, right? It's just breaking structure with displacement, right? That's all it is. But you can see Midnight Open did do well. Thanks in chat, whoever asked me about that. But aneurysm? No, that's that's not a new trading term. It's a you can look it up yourself, but it's a medical term. We don't need to go into that. But ideally here, right, I'd want some retracement to grab liquidity, right? That's why I want this. We don't always have to get it, but aggressive move out of there, aggressive move back down. I want to run at least internal liquidity. Yeah, I don't even watch US 30 really normally, right? Normally I just sit, let's see. Normally I just sit on lower time frames on ES and NAS. Because a lot of times US 30 does whatever the hell it wants. And it can be leading, but a lot of times I'll just sit on these two, right? Because they normally give me what I look for, right? I'm going to turn off volume on these, so I don't need to see it. So you can see ES retch a lot higher, right? Accumulated. But if I had an ideal plan right now, it'd be this. Yeah, we'll see, Taylor. Oh yeah, 100%. That's why I'm not gonna. What are you on, Henry? Market maker buy model? Definitely could be. Um, yeah, we'll see what happens here. We gonna get that retracement, boys? Probably. It's just what seems most likely. The only thing here is like this is a large area, right, with such aggressive price action that you'd have to have a wide stop. So I would do something like that's when I'd go to my lower time frames and look for a model on there. No low is taken. What's her? Theodore, it is not. So if you look here, right? Aggressive down. Here's our little fair value gap. Would like to see it drop from in here. Right? Will it work? Who knows? Right? But what time are we at? 7:55. We'll see if this happens. What's up, Scale Out? You've been killing it lately, my guy. Stoked on your growth. You guys are too funny. Yeah, it doesn't come to your OT level or OTE all the time. The only thing is, it's just like personal risk tolerances, right? Like if you want a long here, sure, right? I wouldn't, right? I would rather short up here, right? We'll see what happens here. Due to choppy price action, I would prefer my earlier idea of running these highs because this is our higher time frame fair value gap or BPR right there. Right? If we go to a 30-second, there's our BPR, right? And so making our little broadening formation before the drop is kind of the same idea as our open where where is it? Where we ran those highs before dropping, right? See the similar idea here? So this would be your low risk but high risk, right? So I'd prefer something like that. I'd consider taking that, but the dude wanting to play Apex with you on Twitter the other day has me cracking up. Dude, I gamed with Nick the other day off Twitter. Is that a cat hacking a hairball? What? Oh, my sock got stuck on something below my desk if it was loud. Am I Canadian? I'm not. How would you go about getting funded? I actually made a video on it if you want to check out my channel. I definitely don't really trade the 5-second unfunded accounts. Uh, Hell yeah, scale up. But yeah, I have 2 funded accounts currently that I'm just kind of letting chill for withdrawal. But OTE is a visual way of seeing fair value, so you don't have to trade there. It's high problem. Yeah, I completely agree. IPDA, you'd have to show me an example of it, and then I could probably get it. I would not skip ICT's videos and just watch mine. I made them more to kind of help out and refine the subjects. He covers a lot more and a lot more in depth. Do I wear glasses? I do not currently. So, what I think is happening here is this is what I'd prefer, right? What is happening right here? Accumulation, right? Just consolidation. So we just make that some sort of green color, right? Accumulation. Let me move it back. Accumulation. I would want to see some sort of breakout of this to give us our manipulation, and then our move lower to give us our distribution. Right? Sorry for the super horrible colors on these boxes, man. I'll just make this one blue. That sounds cool. How much money do I have? I'm not going to answer that question. How long have you been profitable? Since ICT, essentially. I wasn't profitable prior to ICT. So here, we'll actually do this real quick. We'll take a little short here. If we can wait for a 5-second setup or just enter. Let's see. Gotta get my limit up. Whatever. It'll just fill me in there. Or not. I was a little late. Well, shoot. Thing is, I might just trade on my side screen because I don't want to run into another Monday problem. Right now, I'm just chilling using funded. Are you ICT's son? No, I'm not. What happened Monday? Essentially, I got bored and asked the chat to choose trades for me, and then I got a lot of hate for it. So, how often do you stream live like this? I mean, this is my second one this week, but yeah, this is a Elite Trader funding that links to TradingView. We'll see here. Oh, I missed my secondary entry. Yeah. Not an M1, but you get it. People on Monday are like, no discipline, even though I didn't trade all morning. Right. I'm gonna try one here. Probably will get ran over just based off that candle, but I'm also not sizing the same as normal, so we'll see. What is M1? Just minute 1. This is a 15-second though. I stop right there. I'm targeting down into here, right? But I'm assuming I'm probably gonna get stopped out of this one by the looks of it. We'll see. Nice. Not nice. Yeah, it's super choppy today. We'll see what happens. I normally size with 5 to 10 contracts of micros, so I don't really care too much about this, to be honest. It'll probably stop me out. Wasn't a very great entry, so we'll see. I mean, yeah, I got stopped out of it, but nah, I don't know. I don't really I've so here's the whole thing about I made my YouTube channel really to try to help people, and then also because my biggest fear is public speaking, right? And so finally I'm starting to overcome public speaking, but like live trading is a whole different animal. So that's why I'm like really hesitant because like normally I would have already traded quite a bit this morning, not gonna lie. You win some, you lose some. Yeah, I don't. The thing is, I don't really care on that. Right? Let's see. Yeah, I lost $13 on it. Not too mad. Open float. That's more for like penny stocks and stuff. I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. This might actually end up working. I definitely put my stop too tight. Ideally, you put it there. That's just too much risk, especially for this. Are you in ICT's real mentorship? No, I learned everything off YouTube. I don't really journal. I will review price action, but normally I know what I do wrong when I lose. So, all right, and the bot is back, guys. Yay. I need, oh my gosh. Add user from channel. You'd think they would just be done with the bots. How long I've been studying ICT? Since April. Have you learned a lot from your Discord team? Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot from Alex, and then uh, just other people in general. Like if you find peers who are interested and learn the same way you do, you can definitely learn from them, right? How old am I? I'm 21. I don't know. What's Alex YouTube channel called? Alex Options. I've been trading for a little over a year and a half now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm 21. 26. Let's see. Ideally, there's only like 3 setups I should have looked at this morning. Open setup, this BPR, which isn't super great, and then this one that we were talking about. And there's the aggressive move down. So that was right. I just had my stops too tight, right? And that's because I was trying to use such a low time frame entry. It's pretty choppy. 51. No, I don't want bot subscribers, dude. So there was a potential short, but anything when you're not getting trapped, you just gotta have your higher time frames open, right? Have like at least a 5-minute open to kind of give you a sense of where you're at. Right? And right there, I just messed up by not having my stop at the right spot. But to be fair, the price action wasn't super clean. But how prevent stop hunting partial manual exit? Not sure what you mean. Just like people taking stops? I don't know open float ICT stuff. So there we go. There's the trade that I wanted, right? I just messed it up. Is it frustrating? I mean, sure, but I don't really care. That's where my stop was. What would to say if I had stopped out there and then it ripped? I'd have been like, oh, I'm glad I had my stop there, right? I mean, yeah, it's obviously frustrating, but it's whatever. Let me pull up M15. Yeah, yeah, very true. I agree. No, we were looking for sells, but is taking 20 trades too much as a scalper? I would say that's depending on your personal preference. I had a week where I took 230, but we'll see what happens here, right? This is the low I obviously wanted to reach under, right? If we're going to continue higher. But there's no displacement up, right? So likely going to go lower in one day. No, that was in like 3-4 days. So yeah, no. Um, but yeah, for the most part, um, when I'm doing these live streams, I think I'll probably just kind of talk more, not really trade as much, just because no skip ads. I did not. I don't know if that's win game. No, we're not doing that. Uh, that is funny though. So no displacement up here, right? You can see that. So, do you ever trade forex? I don't. Can you tell me what the hotkeys are for templates and timeframes? What do you mean? Oh, timeframes? You just start typing in the numbers. If you want templates, you hit the period button. You can. Oh, that's layout. Templates, you can just right, or when you go to insert a line. So like I have my different lines. You can just right click it, or when you're on it, go down to here, click your template you want, and it has it, right? Which time frame do you look for displacement? I mean, it depends on the setup, right? Isn't that a viable target? 36, 35? Yeah. I mean, isn't that previous day high? Or, oh, that's not even previous day high. That's this morning open. Yeah. No, that's a viable target. I just want to see lower prices, which I guess we already got. But the failure to displace off these low here, right here, makes me think we're going to go back below midnight open. How much is one contract? So on a mini, it depends on which broker you're using. But if you're talking about how much you make or lose a point, on micros, you'll make or lose $5 a point. On minis, you'll make or lose $50 a point. Right? E-mini is the S&P index. That's an index. E-mini is the futures for that index, and then SPY is the ETF. Made 500 on the trade. You got stopped at. Sweet, man. Brian, I gave you sauce. You owe me 3 dinners right now, and you didn't even provide last night for dinner. Do you have any rules figuring out which stop levels will be run at open? Not really. It's mostly just watching structure, right? I kind of want to just short this, but how is price failing to displace higher? Look at the 1-minute chart. Is there any displacement here? No, right? So what does that lead me to believe? That this is going to go lower, right? And as you can see, we're going lower. So a lot of times I'm not going to take them just because if I'm scalping, like I would have just shorted there, like when I said I'm just going to short here with like very low risk. And I wouldn't be looking at comments or doing anything, just kind of taking an insane amount of trades, which is displacement. Displacement, you need fair value gaps. There's no fair value gaps there, right? There's fair value gaps here. And if we're looking in this area, where do we want to be targeting on this displacement down? Down here at least, right? Or at least we're into a discount now, but I would prefer us to run this low a little more aggressively, right? Looking for a low. Yeah, that's all it is. A lot of my trades lately that I've been scalping is when we fail to displace in one direction, I'll look at to trade it in the other direction. And that's how I get into like trends. Do you teach how to create a trading plan? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Buys? Hmm. We'll see. I wouldn't be buying right here, personally. You will trade FOMC? Probably not. After I end this live stream, I'll probably take a few scalps. If there is a good setup, I'll take normal size, but today I'm like 1/10, 1/5 of my size. So, yeah. While chilling, you can go through one day and trade 15 seconds. Just for fun? I mean, I could, yeah. Um, I'd have to, I don't know, really know how that would, I'd have to switch my broker around, I think, right? But maybe I can do that. I don't know, I'm thinking of making a separate channel for all my live streams because I think I want to do some more live streams, but I don't want to like clog up um, this channel because I just want people to be able to find education easily. Yeah, I want more downside currently. Like I said, I want this low ran more aggressively, right? Possibly reach below midnight open, right? That's why I was saying I wouldn't long right here. And you can see, yeah, this price moved up fast, but look at this. Is there any fair value gaps in here? There's one, right? Look at this, right? So ideally, pop this high, because now there's someone sitting on this, and then drop lower. Do you trade till New York session close? No. Normally I'm done. Normally I'm done trading by like an hour into the market after open, or hour 30. Right, and so got that little move. Now I want a drop. What prop firm do you trade it? Right now I use ETF. I also have an Apex account though that it's funded. Could this price action be? Yeah. So he's mentioning the fair value gaps that's right in here, right? So if we, or yeah, on the 1 minute, that's essentially why I want the aggressive move down, right? I want the aggressive move down to sweep these lows, right? Enter into here, and then it can go higher, right? NASDAQ. Oh, damn. That is a gnarly divergence. Honestly, I'd just short YM. The risk to reward here is kind of nutty. If you're wrong, you get stopped here versus I'd either be longing this one right now or shorting this one. Right? Normally I take the weaker, stronger one, but on gnarly divergences like this, the risk to reward is just way better doing that. But that is a crazy divergence, I will not lie. So, oh look, we actually did sweep that low and got an aggressive move back up. So now we'll see what happens here. Ideally, reach down. We're on the 5 second. I gotta remind myself sometimes. I'm gonna go to a 15 second. I want below midnight open. Yeah. I mean, this is basically how I think. Normally I'll just execute it, but I don't know, I get nervous for these live streams. Daily SMT off the lows or highs. I'm gonna watch this real quick because depending if we just sweep and get an aggressive move here again, I'll be looking long. Right? I don't know if we're gonna head for previous day low. And my target here, just be this. Right? But what are you guys' thoughts on a separate channel for like live streams so I don't clog up this one? You consider watch many times and I see you don't get it. Watch episode 12. Separate channel. Twitch? I mean I could do Twitch or YouTube. I'll ask Twitter too and um I don't want people to like go to my channel and just see a ton of live streams and then it's content scattered and for some reason not know a playlist or something, you know. I do have a playlist for live streams, but if you just go to my videos, it's gonna show up, right? Not needed. Okay. I don't know. So this is where I would consider like a two turtle soup on a lower time frame, right? I'd want to see a little break above that and then go lower, considering we're not really displacing up. But we'll see. All right. Maybe remove the live videos, but people miss them and want to see them still. Twitch low key, and it just links in your description. Interesting. Maybe I'll consider that. Stay with YouTube. I'm not liking that anymore. We'll see. What did you call turtle soup? It's basically just buying liquidity runs or selling liquidity runs, buying liquidity runs. Oh, really? I didn't know that they were doing that. Do you trade the 1 millisecond? No, I have traded the 1 second before, and I don't like it. Right, so right there, what went wrong? Right, didn't trade it, but why? See this candle right here? This candle should have been the candle that displaced. With the failure to displace, continue higher. Turtle soup. I don't remember exactly where he mentions it, but essentially it's like trading a broadening formation, right? Or just the deviation from the range, right? So that would be an entry. It works if you have the right like bias and mindset, right? Just do that and then buy right there. Stop on this order block high because that will be your invalidation point. Target new lows, right? But what is your spread? There's not really a spread on futures. It's just if you hit market, you're gonna get that like $10 or $1. Yeah, the contract sizing template from my YouTube video is in the description. So with Apex, you pay monthly for a funded account. Yeah, so I just pay monthly and then I withdraw monthly. I don't know. I'll probably get an FTMO, maybe try it out, but most likely I don't know. I don't mind it. Taken on 1 second, it would have been a loss. Where 1 second is kind of gnarly, but you can see, right? Aggressive up, aggressive down with our volume spike. Runs internal range liquidity. This is your entry. Your confirmed 1 second entry, which is really funny. But, and then you have your BPR. Right, doesn't quite hit. But there we go, we hit midnight open. I'm gonna get out of this stuff for you guys. We'll go to a 15 second. So, and there we go. There's our aggressive run of that low that I finally wanted and finally got. It only took, you know, 5 minutes. I guess not that long. You do a video on Apex funded? Which trading view upgrade you buy? There's a link in my bio actually of Trading View. I think they give you like 30 free days if you use that link. Getting Seek and Destroy vibes. Yeah, probably similar. Turtle Soup is just like a... basically just buying the deviation, right? So kind of the one I just explained there. You have these highs, they get ran, even if it's just by a little bit, that's your turtle soup entry. So if you want to go short, it's basically like inducement, right? But you just buy it or sell it. A fake breakout, yeah, essentially. Everyone loses on breakouts, so you're just doing the exact opposite. Thanks, scale out. Yeah, on FTMO and stuff, you have the spreads and stuff, so. I use ETF. This is through ETF. You can trade. I do, if I'm scalping, I scalp on my Ninja trader. That one through Apex, just because Ninja is a lot faster than because this is like third party, it has to route from Tradeovate to TradingView and then back, you know? So Ninja's just a lot faster in terms of scalping, but yeah, so now that we got this, move down below midnight open, what I want to see is a potential aggressive move back up, or we're going to probably head for previous day lows, which then I would be... You promised a video. Yeah, I'm going to do a narrative video next week. That's probably going to go with my entry video I just made. But right now, we're failing to displace higher, right? So failure to displace higher means what? Probably going to go lower, right? You can use displacement both ways. So if you think, I'm looking for this displacement, well, look for it both directions. It'll teach you a lot. And if you look, here's our 1 minute fair value gap, right? Where would we want it to kind of line up with previous lows or the little order block, right? If we're going to continue lower, so you'd want, let me get my arrow, I've moved right into there, and then continue lower. Dang it, didn't stay. And of course, oh man, I just keep messing it up. Hold up. Like that. Right? So, midnight open, that order block, stuff like that, right? But this is really good risk reward for longs if we do get displacement higher, right? So, I don't really want to short right here. What's your banking? Stay on all day, dude. You're banking. How much are you up, man? You doing good? Can you just show one screen? Oh yeah. Sorry about that. We'll go to this one for right now. So yes and no, right? On something like this, I prefer to see a structure broken on a BPR, right? You do have this BPR, but with FOMC and everything, I'm not super convinced, but can definitely go higher. Looks like it is probably likely to go higher now, right? And why is that? Displacement is just as important as the lack of displacement. We hit this point of interest where I expected us to possibly reverse. Did we get any displacement lower? No, right? So then it goes higher. When you think about things that way, it changes your mindset a lot, and it's pretty good, right? And then watch this. Equal highs right there. So where should we go? If we're going to continue this back up, should drop there, continue higher, or not drop at all. Yeah, the Discord link is at the very top of the channel. My account is up 6%. I look forward to the live sessions. Dang, 6%, that's nuts. Up 0.75. How many trades you take? I haven't really been taking trades. I took one trade for a stop. Just kind of chilling today. Just saying. Mobile stream with 4 screens. Yeah. I mean, I could go with the 8-screen layout. Oh, thanks for reminding me, Jason. So we do have the hourly flip incoming, right? So 10:30. So we're going to go back out to the higher time frame so we don't get lost. But, right, what would I be watching for? Mentioned earlier, this high right here, because you have a fair value gap in this area, more predominant on something like a 4-minute makes it look a little better, right? Little fair value gap order block, but essentially you can kind of just add those candles up, and this is your area of point of interest. So what is hourly flip? It's just when you get a new hourly candle, right? So at 10:30, when we hit 10:30, we're gonna get a new hourly candle on futures, right? So if we are gonna get green, right, and it stays green, then you can look for longs based off this hourly candle, which you can tell we just got displacement there on the lower time frames, right? And you can kind of see that stuff. So here's that point of interest, right? So if I was looking to scalp stuff, this is what I do, right? I just look in here. We're in a point of interest where we may expect a retracement, even if it's just to test these previous highs, right? You get some sort of setup. So this isn't Apex. This is Elite Trader funding. And so you can link it to NinjaTrader, Trade-of-8, or Trade-of-8 through TradingView. So I do Trade-of-8 through TradingView, and that allows me to trade on my mobile and also this, right? No displacement yet. Yeah. Yeah, sweet, dude. That's awesome. Finished phase 1. Yeah, 1 sec. Give me 1 minute. Sorry. Sorry, just screenshotting a couple things. So, I just kind of missed it doing some other stuff, but, right, expect a retracement to previous highs, right? No displacement off that, expect it to go a little bit lower. How long have I been trading? I've been trading for a little over 1.5 years now. BPR. Where can I find out about that model? If you just check out my the turtle soup one, or if you just watch my latest video, should help. So here you go. Now we're getting a reaction out of it. Not super convincing yet, right? Couldn't break structure. Want some more displacement higher. So not convincing. Move up. We go lower. Right? We're on the 5 seconds, so I'm going to zoom out a little for everyone. Right? You can see we're reaching into this order block. If we're gonna get a move higher, I'd want to see it in here. Right? Or next point of interest is, let me clean up my screen. Holy. Okay. Next point of interest would be down into this range right in here. Right? Yeah, I got you. Did you have a day job when you started trading? So I'm a college student, right? And so I did have a job. I worked at a bar, and then now I do this and school still. Oh, really? I'll look into that. Thanks, Pump Pump. All right, so I hope if yeah, I'm palpable. I can. This is a really big question. I'm having trouble cutting lot sizes and indices. FF. So lot sizes and indices is a little bit harder than just saying, oh, I'm going to risk this percent of my account. What you have to do is figure out what percent of your account is how much money, right? So if you're trading a $100,000 account and you're wanting to risk 1%, you risk $1,000, and then based on your stop size, right? So if we're on micros, it's going to be a lot more, but let's pretend these are minis. If you have a 5-point stop, right? 5 times 50. Sorry, it's the morning and my math sucks. 5 times 50, that's 250. So then you can take, what is that, 20 contracts? I don't know, my math is really bad right now. Second time frames are confusing. So you can see real quick. Drawing that out for you. That's what I would want, ideally, just based on the chop today. Maximum loss per day. Like, normally if I take 3 losers in a row, I just hop off. And I'm going to school for business finance right now. But I like the smaller time frames. Oh, I thought this was a 1-minute chart. That's not good. Hold up, we're going to the 1 minute. Sometimes I get lost, right? But 1 minute, fail to displace down, go higher. I wanted more of a retracement back down into this area, personally. But I don't know. Difficult. Yesterday was way easier to trade. Only 3 to 4 points? What do you mean? You're long printing, good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess we could have just taken that BPR and been fine. I prefer to wait for more confirmation, right? So have that BPR off the previous low. I prefer to have this BPR and then some sort of setup right in here, right? Then more confirmation entries, which I don't know if there was a real good, not a super great lower time frame setup right in here, right? If this was more aggressive out and then you get this retracement, it's more convincing. But no, I'm not trading for 3 to 4 points movement, not normally. But it all depends on risk to reward, right? Because 3 to 4 points can be just as much as 12 points depending on your size, right? So let's say we do that. You have 2 shorts, right? Let's say you risk 3 points on this one. You make 6, right? Let's say you risk 4 on, or 7 points on this one. Make 14, right? If your position sizing the same as you should, these will net you the same profit, right? Because you're going to risk 3 points at 100, like whatever your risk is, and you double it. Risk, double it, right? So that's why it's more about risk to reward than points, in my humble opinion. Yeah, 1 to 2. Gold Baker structure. Yeah, gold is just kind of messing around right now. But this is kind of the setup I want to see, like I would have preferred to see on the indices. It's like have some sort of point of interest in here, get a reaction out of it, then you get your little OTE entry here, right? It's not super clean, but that's ideally what I kind of want to look for. Normally I just go to the lower time frames. But looks like we might get it now. Still not super aggressive yet. If you watch my funded account video, should go over that fairly decently. But yeah, thanks. I think unless you guys have a few more questions, let me look real quick. See, the thing is, when I'm streaming stuff, I miss a lot of things just because I'm talking and answering questions, and I'm not just solely focused. But yeah, I see what you mean. But for the most part, if you guys don't have any questions, I'm probably gonna call it here. I've gone live twice this week. But if you guys have any other questions, I'll give them a couple minutes for that, and then I'm gonna probably hop off and go eat some breakfast. Kind of chill for the rest of the day. Super aggressive. Aggressive is I just want to see multiple large fair value gaps. That's aggressive. This is not aggressive. Yes, this is aggressive, but it doesn't really sustain, right? It still works out when it reaches back down into this order block here. But like Tiberus. I like the new name. Thanks, guys. Future plans explained in 30 seconds. Ideally, trading, businesses, real estate. That's my plan for my future. And basically just do something I'm passionate about and help people. So, like, I really enjoy YouTube because I help people, right? Like, that makes me feel good about myself. So, I enjoy that. Titan Trader. Thanks, Showtime. First aggressive example, multiple gaps. Which one do you go for? So, when you have multiple gaps like this, that's when it's all up to your personal risk tolerance, right? And that's why I use premium discount OTE. What you can do is just using premium discount, you can rule out going short anywhere in this area, right? Don't short in there. Why would you? Risk reward's not there. You could short in here. What I would do is take something like this order block, which is lining up exactly with the 0.79, and look to short in there, right? Or when you reach up into these areas, right? Right, sorry, that's really, really awful looking. Holy crap. I was trying to like black that out and be like, don't look for it. But when you reach up into these areas, then you look for lower time frame setups, right? Which allows you to move your risk from somewhere up here on this high up here to being able to move it down to here, right? Which increases your risk to reward, which allows you to take more contracts or larger your position size. So if you get the same amount of points, you make more profit. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. BPR settings. Are you talking about the script? Like this balance price range settings? As you can see, it works out pretty pretty solid. I think I would test out 0, 0, and then whatever you want, how far you want it to look. But 0, 0, 10 will give you everything, and if you don't want the super small ones, do 1, 1, 10. But, thank you, really helpful. ICT Trader. What is OTE entry? I have a video on that if you want to check out my channel. It'll explain it a lot easier than I can right now. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm probably chilling today. 1 second, I gotta sneeze. Ugh. Yeah, optimal trade entry, EU taps. Yeah, I don't really watch EU, but good stuff. Yeah, what's the script? Oh, so the script is if you just look up BPR, it'll be by my friend TFO. Here, I'll actually just drop his Twitter for you guys. And he actually just made a cool video about here, I'll actually just pull my Twitter up for you guys. So this is TFO's page right here, Trade for Opportunity. And this is like a really cool YouTube video. Here, I'm going to drop it in chat if you guys want to check that out. He goes over making a bot and trading video, which I found super interesting. But he has videos right here, or he has the links to his BPR script he wrote. But really just if you just type in BPR, the one by, oh wait, I think I can just copy and paste it over here. Huh. Right here. I guess I can do it for you. There's his link to his scripts right there. God bless you. Thank you. What percent on the second? You can make, I mean, it depends how you trade them, but you can do pretty good returns on seconds. I'm not going to be super interested in this price action right now, just because we had the nice move to run highs, dropped lower, had the BPR, gave this, but really, what are we doing? We're just consolidating, right? Like I will not be trading this. I do not have a Bugatti. I have a Subaru. Do you have any advice for people who have a hard time focusing when it comes to studying? Do you take something? What were your routines? So yeah, I'll answer that real quick. So I do have a hard time studying. Like, I don't study for school. I just pay attention. Like, that's how I study. Like, I have an exam tomorrow, and like I just will probably just read the slides. But what did I do? It all comes down to discipline. It's not really like motivation. Like, yeah, you have to be motivated, but motivation runs out. Are you disciplined enough to keep going? And um, really, what I did is I did it at the gym. So when I was working out or doing my warm up, I would just ride the bike or walk on the treadmill for like 45 minutes to warm up, and I would just watch a whole ICT video every time I warmed up. And so when I go to the gym every 6 days a week, 7 days a week, I basically finished all his videos plus watching some outside of that in like less than 2 weeks. Um, yeah, this will be up to keep watching. But really, I would say you just have to study. Like, it just, do you want it? Which ICT video do you find the most valuable? I would say watch 2 through 20. Those are the most important ones. 6 days a week. Are you yoked? Not as yoked as Alex options. I'll say that. But looks like we got. Did we get a 15-second setup in there? No. I don't know. The price action is just not super clean today. I would have preferred this one to be the one that ran down, right? Because it ran all these previous highs, right? Had a slight aggressive move down, also made the intermediate term high, which I would have preferred to stay, but instead it gets ran. So, like, I don't know, just not super clean in my eyes today. Advice for people to tilt. So I've gone on tilt before. Really, what you got to do is, you go on tilt. What causes you? What triggers you to go on tilt, right? Are you going on tilt because you just lost a trade? If it is, when you just lost a trade, recognize that emotion and then work on it. There's a good book by Jared Tender, The Mental Game of Trading. Kind of talks about it. Honest opinion, can you grow a $200 account? Yeah, if you trade micros. It's like single contracts and just be consistent and disciplined. Market is waiting for FOMC. Yeah, definitely. You mean listen to ICT videos? No, I would I'd watch it on my phone and just put it like on the treadmill or on the bike, the front of the bike. I'd just do that. How old am I? I'm 21. Do you know how to get TradingView Premium free? No, I do not. I wish because I pay a decent amount a month for that, but it's worth it in my opinion for me. If you go to my link tree in the description, I have a video or that. But all right, I think I'm gonna call it there. Thanks everyone for showing up. Hope you guys enjoyed something. Yeah, I work out in the afternoon, and then normally I just kind of shower, go to bed right after, right? Get my sleep, and then I've just been naturally waking up before 8:30 open. So, but hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you can talk to anyone. Anyone knows I respond on Twitter, so feel free to reach out if you need me, and I will talk to you guys all later, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So, see you guys. Peace.